You guys wanted an in-depth, slowed-down version of how to make these 4-inch Halloween bento cakes, so here it is. I'm starting out with a piece of decorative parchment paper. I have these linked in my bio on my Amazon storefront. I have them for every holiday. You're gonna add a little bit of buttercream to the base of your piece of parchment paper. You do not need a cake board for this because most bento cakes go in a cute little cardboard box. You don't have room for a board, but if you want to use a board instead of the parchment paper, go for it. I put my bento cake upside down because I want to make sure that the crumbs stay on the bottom because the outside has baked nice and flat, so I want to make sure that that is the top portion. Then you can either do a crumb coat. Mine, I'm making a pumpkin, so I'm doing it in orange, or you can do a crumb coat and a final coat. I only did one coat and made this kind of my final coat. Then for the stem, I took a Wilton 21 tip and I am just kind of going up and down, almost like a little M if you would. And then I am just doing a little tip for the top of the stem. Then this, instead of doing just a round tip, I wanted to do a little bit of a textured tip. So I took the Wilton writing icing and then I did a number 13 tip. The thing that I love about these is literally you take the little coupler and you just take the top part in your piping tip, screw it on, and boom. Now for this design specifically, this was the quote unquote hardest part. For me, I had to pull up the photo on my iPad because I am not a person that can just kind of eyeball it. I need to visually be able to see it. So with the black decorating icing, I put a number 2 tip on there and then I just traced or outlined the outside of the mouth first. And then I went and did the filling in after I did that. And then I messed up a couple of times. It took me at least maybe 3-4 times to get this right, but I finally was able to get it. With this, you want to take your time. You never want a cake to look rushed, but also you don't want to have a bunch of lines from you having to trace everything. So you really want to work slowly. I thought about using a fondant cutter that I have for the eyes and the mouth and the nose, but then I realized it just looks a lot better with frosting rather than fondant because it just keeps it kind of flat. And this keeps it nice and juicy and just shiny. And I just love it so much. I filled it in. And then once I filled it in, I took a little tiny flat spatula that I have that I typically use for like petal work and just smoothed it out so it's not too textured, but it still has the face where it doesn't look too perfect, if that makes any sense. I sold these for $15 and I put them in a little container. Let me know what you think.